Cereal time, cereal time, cereal time, whoa.
What's up, cereal heads? Today we're going to talk about Buñuelitos cereal. Now, if you've been watching Cereal Time for a while, you've probably heard me talk about this cereal before. I believe it's even in my top 10 favorite cereals of all time video. And I've never done a video about this cereal because I've never had a box to share with you before. And while I still don't have an unopened box of this cereal, thanks to the people at General Mills Archives, I have this 3D tangible box that I can present and discuss with you here. And who knows, maybe we can even recreate the cereal. Alright, so let's talk about this cereal. Buñuelitos was released by General Mills back in 1993. And let me just say right up front here that if I'm butchering the name, I apologize, my Spanish is terrible. But on that note, it was a cereal marketed to Latino communities here in the US. It was targeted to Spanish-speaking regions here in the country. In fact, when it first came out in the spring of 1993, it was only sold in Texas, California, and parts of the Southwest. By the end of the summer, General Mills had expanded it to other cities with large Spanish-speaking populations, including South Florida, Chicago, New York, and Philadelphia. And since I grew up outside of Philadelphia, I got to try this cereal in my region. And as far as I can remember, I only tried this cereal a handful of times, but those were some memorable times because I loved it. Now, I'm not actually sure if I ever saw the commercial they made for this cereal. I'm not sure if it was available on my local TV channels, but here it is. Take a look.
What makes new Buñuelitos cereal a Mexican adventure?
It's as fun to say as it is to eat.
The sweet, crunchy combination of cinnamon and a touch of honey is a Mexican adventure of fun in every bite. The cinnamon and honey part of this balanced breakfast.
As fun to say as it is to eat.
So you can see from that commercial that even though it was targeted to Latino communities, they were trying their best to explain it to the non-Spanish speaking population. It's as fun to say as it is to eat. Do it with me now. Boo, and they have a ghost here in case you weren't sure what boo meant. New, which I don't really think is right because Enye is pronounced different than N. L, that's self-explanatory, just the letter L. Eat, like what you do with a delicious bowl of this cereal. And O, which I'm pretty sure is a clip from an old-timey racist cartoon. Anyway, you can see from that Mexican-themed commercial that the cereal is sweetened corn puffs with a touch of honey and cinnamon. You can see a picture of the cereal here on both of these boxes. One has a little more festive colors and confetti on it, but they are pretty similar. And they both have a little sign in the corner that says tastes like Buñuelos. Again, probably butchering that word. But what is a Buñuelo? In case you didn't grow up with them like me, they explain them for you on the side of the box here. They say they're a crispy traditional Mexican dessert served on festive occasions. The first Buñuelos were made from cinnamon and sugar cane brought by Spanish settlers and combined with the native Mexican sweetener honey. Nuns first created Buñuelos as a holiday treat. In a time-honored custom, Buñuelos are served on irregular and cracked pottery, which is saved throughout the year. For good luck, lore has it that a dish should be broken for every Buñuelo eaten. Now you don't have to wait for a special occasion to discover this delicious taste. The cinnamon, sugar, and honey goodness of crispy Buñuelitos makes every day a celebration. And even though the sides of these boxes are the same, they both have different backs here. Both backs try to help you learn some new Spanish words. This one is pretty simple and straightforward. It says, in the tradition of delicious Mexican pastries, Buñuelitos is a new cereal with the great flavor combination of cinnamon, canela, sugar, azúcar, and honey. Meow. Now you can enjoy the authentic flavor of Buñuelos for breakfast. And now on the other one that's kind of brightly colored and noisy and has that 90s flair to it, you can learn the Spanish words for a building, a leg, a bubble, a cap, a wheel, and hair. All very random and not related to this cereal at all. Now there's one last thing I want to show you about these boxes before we move on, and that's the other side here. I usually don't show you the ingredients and the nutrition facts, but I found this part interesting. You can see that even though both of these boxes said new on them, the one on the right here with the confetti and flare was actually produced a short time after the other one. And you know that because in mid-1993, the Nutrition Labeling and Education Act went into enforcement. The bill was passed in 1990, but by mid-93, companies had to start changing their labels to comply. You know the box is newer when it has the % daily value listed next to the amount of each nutrient. Just a fun little fact about cereal boxes and labeling. Okay, so what about this delicious cereal? What did it taste like? Honestly, it was really simple, and I can't explain why I liked it so much. I just did. It was essentially Kix cereal with a dash of honey and cinnamon. Probably really easy for General Mills to reproduce. In fact, I don't know why they haven't tried that recipe again. Nevertheless, I'm gonna try to take a crack at it and recreate this cereal. First, let's start with some Honey Kix. Right there in the name, you got two of the ingredients, Kix cereal and honey. Now these newer Paw Patrol boxes of Kix also feature Paw Patrol shields in addition to the round corn puffs, but we'll just pick those out and leave the spherical shapes. 1, 2. This is gonna take a lot longer than I thought. All right, let's just pretend these are all the ball-shaped pieces because I'm not gonna pick out every shield. So now you have the base of Buñuelitos right here. Basically, all you need now is a touch of cinnamon sugar and you're all the way there. Now we could add a sprinkling of cinnamon and a sprinkling of sugar to these pieces, but there's already a cereal that does that really well. So my solution is just to take the crumbs from the bottom of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch bag. They have a perfect cinnamon sugar blend, and that mixture is always left at the bottom of a bag of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So until General Mills comes out with their Cinnamon Toast Crunch sprinkle seasoning, that's just how we'll have to do it. So here you go. Here's what my recreated bowl of Buñuelitos cereal looks like. Now when I hit them with some milk, obviously the cinnamon sugar will run off the pieces into the milk because it's not baked into the cereal, but it's the best we can do. It's not perfect, but it's still pretty tasty. It's not as good as Buñuelitos, but nothing really was. I do wish General Mills would bring that cereal back, or some version of it. It seems so easy to make. But Buñuelitos didn't sell very well, and it only lasted on shelves for about a year. And even then, it was only in regional markets. So many people never got to try this delicious Mexican-themed cereal. Hopefully General Mills gives it another shot in the future. Maybe just market it differently. I'd even be okay with the Honey Cinnamon Kix. But this cereal will always have a special place in my heart, and will probably always be in my top 10. Alright, well, that's gonna do it for Buñuelitos cereal. Did you ever get to try this stuff? Was it available in your region? Would you have liked it? Let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, stay crunchy. I could just eat spoonfuls of this cinnamon sugar.
Cereal time.